We are back. Game one for them is almost over, so I'm going to just gonna wait for the time being. IQ versus LG. And we'll just leave it there. Alright, so let's go ahead and reload the beer league. So I know the title's wrong, but what can you do? Alright, and we are back. We're gonna go ahead and cast the rest of the IQ versus LG series. IQ did win game one. So we'll get going here on game two as soon as they're ready to go. All right. We are in the lobby. And I don't know what's going on with the other series. I look forward to checking that out later. Let me tell Renton real quick that all right. Can I let you know the score? Do what you did and start my replay file and stream it ours. I could. Yeah, sorry, I'm talking to Rihi. Okay. Let's see, do they have a draft link for game one here by chance? Yes they do. Here we go. put that. Oh, I'm gonna click on the right thing first. Should be IQ versus LG. IQ won game 1. You can here on the screen you can see what the drafts were like for game 1. I don't know the exact details. I just know that IQ won. So very interesting IQ comp here. Jinx first pick, no surprise, and Zillion with 3 divers. That's a good comp as far as I can tell. Can Caster hit on me and call me cute? Nah, bro, I leave that to Rihi. That's more his forte. I just flame people's builds. As for LG, they picked kind of an all-in comp here, but against a Zillion, that's kind of rough. I like how they went Silas and Malphite. It's kind of funny. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Open the draft for game 2. Teams are going to keep sides. Rihi really got that quirked up white boy swag. So I've heard. Streets don't lie, indeed. The wisdom of the streets. What's up, Trevor? Welcome to the chat. I said during the cast I would flame you for building Sunfire Cape on a Mumu after you already had Leandri's, and I'm sticking to that. It's a troll build, brother. And I'm not gonna put it that game 2 for what do you know anyways? I know that I hate Sunfire Cape. Especially when you don't need it for wave because you already got Leandri's and you're a Mumu. That's what I know. But hey, you went 2-0. Clearly you're doing something right. In my opinion, you had to work a little too hard for it, but, you know. You're 4-0 to start the season. I can't blame you too much. Why is it bad? I just think that the stats profile for Sunfire is really bad, and you should only build it if you desperately need it to wave clear. If you're just building like just as a stats item, I think it's terrible. So I'm fine with it on stuff like Shen top, and like Scion top, and you know those kind of champions that need it to like farm. Maybe some junglers if they really need it, but yeah. Ever since they removed the ramping damage from Sunfire, I've never cared for it. It's just not worth it. Plus 1,000 gold combined cost, that is really rough for a tank item. That's the biggest reason I don't like it. I don't mind Radiant Virtue or Hollow Radiance nearly as much, because it has a much cheaper combined cost, and MR is better than armor early. But the actual Sunfire, I'm really not a fan, unless you desperately need it to wave clear. So there you go. That's it. There's a Morg ADC in the other series. You're trying to roll swap? That would be something. Morg ADC sounds terrible. Oh, I need to switch to the right overlay here for match 2. Find it. There we go. Now you guys can see the out champions. All right, here we go. More ADC. I look forward to watching that. That sounds terrible. That sounds really not good. So I'll be very interested to see what that looks like. I did enjoy ADC the season I played it in Beer League. But I definitely would not play Morgana there. I'd just play Caitlyn every game. This is my first time, I believe, actually seeing IQ play. So I look forward to that. Bree's teams are always fun. I have seen LG. They do have a different jungler now. We won't delve too deep into that. Actually, I don't remember who. I think their jungler's name is like Luke or something. I don't remember the details, but IQ coming in with the Ivern first pick. That is a spicy Rehe draft if I've ever seen one. I know Rehe does very meticulous draft prep, so, and I know he likes to go for some interesting picks, so I like it. Let's see, did Renton message me back, by the way? Nope. He's busy. Fair enough. I am really glad to have Renton along. We desperately need more casters to help shoulder the load, so I appreciate his willingness and enthusiasm to get in there and get her done. So, if only we could get 1 or 2 more of the rest of you here in the booth, we could get all these games casted, or at least most of them. The Kog'Maw pick to go with Ivern, no surprise there. I'm actually going to need these teams to hurry up this draft a little bit because I really need to go to the bathroom. That's okay. I'm going ahead to Lulu. They're going full in on this Kog'Maw comp. Fair play. What do you actually pick to counter a comp like this? I really don't know. I'm not sure what the answer is. Maybe a split push comp, but it's kind of hard to pull off in Beer League. You don't see a lot of split pushing. At least not since I've been here. I've heard there used to be in the past, but recently I haven't seen a lot. And then we're going to have the Dog, Nefiri, or Las Gatos. Hernandez teaches Nami is goated. That is true. And then again, another Shen ban. Nobody wants to deal with the Shen. I don't blame them at all. That's 100%. Like, you should probably ban Shen anyway, but I especially like it against their comp that they're running. You don't need any more shields for this Kog'Maw. Get that shit out of here. Although part of me wouldn't mind letting them have the Shen and just picking like a really, really fast split pusher into it, like Trundle or something. And if he wants to leave to help his team, you just take 2 towers. But I don't know. That's kind of a hard strategy to come up with in the heat of the moment. So, and it's very risky too. Because if you lose the fight hard enough when he ults, then it doesn't really matter if you get towers. So, Lysandra ban, interesting. A lot of top lane bans, no surprise there. That tends to be a pretty beer league staple. So no one wants to pick top early, which is fair. Unless they're playing Orin, then they don't mind picking it early. This could be the Talia. Okay. Going for picks and splitting the team. I like that. That is a good strategy against this kind of comp. You just split the team up. And the Jace pick, interesting. I guess if you have to blind pick a top laner, Jace isn't a bad choice. And what mid laner will Rihi go for here? Against presumably Talia. Maybe Echo? No. It's going to be Garen, so maybe it's a Jace mid for Rihi? I do know he plays Jace, so there you go. That's probably what it is. So Garen blind pick then. I guess they could probably flex afterwards to whichever lane they want to go, each want to go to. That's a smart way to handle that. What do you got, Mr. Los Gatos, for last pick? Caress is going to lock in the Kale. Interesting choice. Okay. I don't mind it. Presumably you will... I mean, you'll put the... I don't think you'll put the Garen against Talia, but maybe you would. I don't know. I'm very interested to see how they decide to handle that. Yeah, KO last pick. Actually, looking back on it, I kind of hate it only because LG has no front line at all. This looks like a very solo queue team comp for KO, where there's no one who wants to go in ahead of her, which is tough. To be fair, maybe you don't want to go in that much anyway against their team, because they're very anti-dive for IQ. Yeah, maybe just try to outrange them. Kale is a good champion at that, so fair enough. I'm going to go ahead and use the restroom real quick. I will be right back. Okay. Well, I kind of said what I said about LG already. I think their comp's going to be hard to execute because they don't really have any front line. But I feel like they probably don't. They kind of don't want to go in against IQ anyway. So they're just going to have to play the ranged heavy comp and maybe get some picks. So I don't mind it. Yeah, I just realized that is a stacked team for IQ. Benson, None Ya Business, and Rihi. My goodness. That is a bunch of beer league powerhouses right there. Let's see. Who has messaged me? Alright, go ahead and put a pause to that. And here we go. Alright, Summoner check. Summoner and Keystone check. Nothing too unusual here. Conqueror on Neferi is interesting, but I can see the logic behind it. You should probably stack it pretty quickly. Everything else looks pretty standard. Yeah. Back to the days of Conqueror on Garen. Phase Rush Garen, RIP. He's going to be a teleport Garen, which I don't blame him. A little bit of scrapping here early on, and Chaos taking a lot of damage. Whoa. Oh, ooh! Nice flash by him. Able to survive there. But now there's a lot of people here in the jungle, and Garen's going in. He's getting a full charge E on the Neferi, and Neferi's going to go down, and that's going to really slow down his early jungle clear. That's tough. Okay. Yeah, and he's going to go ahead and steal his red buff too, so is he going to go right for it? No, he's going to go for his Raptors. Nope. No, he is going to check the red buff, and he's going to find that it's gone, and he's going to be a sad panda. Oh, did I not? Oh, didn't take the first time I pressed him, but there you go. Ooh. And Chaos not realizing that Jason's going to get level 1 off the first wave, and that's going to be immediate all-in by Rihi. Why is it panning down to that in the middle of the all-in? And that's going to be a kill here for Rihi. Will it not? No, not quite able to get the final auto off, but now Rihi's hit the die instead. Nice gank by Luke on the Neferi there. Saves his mid laner just in time. Kale playing. I guess he is below half health already. Fair enough. Okay. I feel like Kale should not be losing the early lane that hard to Garen, but what do I know? A hard trade coming in by Jubilee, and he's going in. Does he have the damage to finish him off? He does, and they're going to turn on the Kaisa as well. And he's gonna get the Kaisa kill. Okay, extremely unnecessary flash there by Lulu, but they do end up bringing him down. But now Nefiri's here. The Super Noob's gonna go ahead and try to execute into tower. Ooh. Very nice juke, but unfortunately not quite able to juke the second one as well. Wait, hold on, actually, hold on. Did he shield himself there at the end? Let's see. So he jukes the first Q. Nah, I guess it didn't matter. The Q hit before the tower shot hit. All right. He tried his best, but another kill for the Nefiri, which is really good. And Nefiris are very spooky, so you want to get him going. I guess her going? I don't know. They're going to go for the three-man ganker on the mid lane, and no flash on Rihi, but not quite able to land any CC, so they will chunk him pretty hard, though, but I don't know if Talia's going to be able to really do anything with it since she has no mana. And Rihi recognizes this when he plays nice and boldly in lane. He says, all right, fine. I'll just shove. Doesn't matter if you took out my health. You have no kill threat on me. Which team got the first 3 kills, just out of curiosity? I wasn't paying it. I don't remember. It was Team IQ, so they get the Feats of Warfare. I don't know why it says it twice, but whatever. And I feel like Kale's playing this a lot more passive early on than she probably needs to. I guess she doesn't have bone plating, so she's a little squishier earlier than usual, so I guess she's just playing extra safe. I know that the... Oh, hold on. Kind of a fight breaking out here in the bot lane. Hernandez Tisha taking a lot of damage, though, but now the gank is coming in. Fantastic roam by Talia here. That's going to be a dead Kog'Maw, and now Lulu going to have to try to do some moves to escape, and she will. He's going to find Nunya business, but I don't think he wants any of that business. Well, maybe he does. He does have his AD carry here, but he also has his Garen here for some reason. This is a very interesting roam by Garen, but I can't deny that it worked out. That is the downside of playing super passive in top lane like Kayla's doing, is that it gives your opponent opportunities to do stuff around the map, and now he can just go right back to top lane and not even miss anything. But yeah, I know that stereotypically, Kale's very weak early, and that's kind of that is true. But if you can keep your passive stacked in lane early on, Kale's early game is not that bad, especially against melee champs like Garen. So I really don't think he needs to be playing quite as safe as he is. But the time for that is kind of past now because Garen's got the level 6, and that's spooky. Kale, he is farming well in the Kale. I'll give him that. So he may be playing very passive, but nonetheless, his CS is still quite good. So, you know, that's mission number 1 is Kale. Get your farm. Try not to feed. And there you go. Some nice damage on the Garen there. I need to plug my phone in, because it's going to die before the stream is over, so let me... There we go. Ooh. Tempted Talia combo there, not quite able to land. Neither team really gone for any early objectives yet. I figure he's just finally getting her level 6 here. And there's the pause. It only lasted a moment for us, but... Ooh. And go ahead and bait the gank for the Neferi. Breeze go ahead and flash out, but now Ivern is here. Is Ivern going to try to do something crazy? Oh, nope. So, Talia playing it well, and now... Oh. We're going to get a little freeze thanks to our pause earlier. Hopefully it won't stay that way for long. There we go. Ooh. And Talia survives with about 13 or 14 HP. What does Neferi's ult actually do at this point? Dashes at them, it slows them. How much is the slow? It is... doesn't say. It doesn't say how much the slow is or how long it lasts. Good tooltip, right? And then it gets a reset, she gets a takedown, and extra shield on each successive ultimate. Interesting. So it's just the later ones that get the shield, not the original one. Huh. Okay. Very interesting. And then, meanwhile, 4-man gank coming down here in the bot lane, but Jubilee's got both sums. He should be fine. Ooh, he does kind of get pushed back, though. Nice nice combo there by Talia, but they still don't have the damage to finish him. And now the Shield Squad has arrived. They're going to try to turn this fight. Going. Talia barely escapes, and they're actually managed to finish off the Kaisa. And this Kog'Maw's just going nuts. He does eventually go down here, but oh, and now Luke's going, and he's got the recast of the ulti, but the Polymorph comes in and prevents the follow-up. Ooh, nice heal by the Nami. Oh, and misses the Q. Oh no! Doesn't get the kill quite fast enough. If he had gotten the kill right away, he might have gotten it, but now none of your business is gonna taste the waves. He's gonna try to turn it with the shield, but doesn't quite have the damage, and that's gonna be the winner of some supportal combat right there. Well done to Nami.
How's it going, Slammer? I love seeing some supportal combat.
Oh, geez, scared the crap out of me. Here, let me turn you down just a little bit, because that was so loud. Okay. Yeah, let me turn you down to, like... There we go. Okay. Welcome.
Thank you.
I assume the other cast is over.
It sure is. It was a an awesome 2-0 series in Pyro and team's favor, but really back and forth games.
Called it.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of seems like Pyroin is inevitable a little bit, but I mean, he was getting. I would say it was a little bit of a jungle diff the beginning of game one. So
I see.
But they came back. They came back.
No,
do you want to stream on?
Yeah,
do you want to stream on Discord, or should I watch this on Twitch?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that.
No,
yeah, let
okay.
me. There we go.
And Muffin Man is asking for an update on this series so far.
Well, I know that IQ won game 1. I don't know a lot of details because I didn't get here until it was over. So that is all I have at the moment, I'm afraid. And a pretty close game 2 here so far.
Oh, is that Mr. H Teaches?
It is indeed Mr. H Teaches.
Oh, uh-oh.
I don't know if you want to go in quite that hard on... Ooh, actually, really nice double bubble there. But I don't think... Yeah, Neferi... Well, she does have ulti. I'm kind of surprised she didn't take that. But opts not to.
Yeah, I'm surprised seeing Neferi even get played. I've seen Neferi get banned a lot, and just in every format, not just Pure League.
Yep. Chaos is going to go for the soul kill here, and he's going to get it.
Fantastic offensive Taliar there. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, that was well done. Just a heads up, I am very tired. I'm casting at like 60% energy right now, so.
You're good. I can like take over if you just want to sit there and drink some water.
No, I'm good. I'm just kind of vibing, kind of calling the plays. We got the other gank going on here in the bot lane. Doesn't quite have the damage to finish anybody off, though. It's just so hard to get kills with all these stupid shields everywhere.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anyone can build the shield item, breaker item that I always forget what it's called.
Serpent's Fang.
Yeah, Serpent's Fang. Yeah. I feel like that should be Nefarian's next item. That is basically the optimal anti Ivern item. So we'll see if it comes through.
Yeah, he does have the start of it with the pickaxe and the longsword, so we'll see if that's indeed what he goes for.
Man, I love seeing Talia get played. No one ever plays her.
Yes, I know that Chaos did play her. Did pretty well in her last week, so.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm not surprised to see him pull that again.
The 10 mastery, let's go.
Ooh, Reed going in doing a lot of damage, but has to flash.
Yeah, I think Rihi was a little focused on Nefarian, not quite on what was happening in the mid lane there. Yeah, has to burn his flash because of it, but did get some poke off. So, you know, maybe Nefarian will think twice about going for their wolves next time. Maybe not. How do you feel about Archangel's first? Because obviously it's not stacked when you finish it first, but I feel like a lot of people do that.
So I qualify this by... I will actually answer that question before we see what the heck just happens here, because clearly... Ooh, very early flash by Nami. And now IQ is going to go ahead and move in and probably get this uncontested. I don't think there's any reasonable way that Nefiri can get in here. And honestly, I don't even like the Kale's here. Like, yeah. just stay top. So,
she's level 11, but she's only a level 11 at the same time.
Yeah. They're going to get a nice combo on Rihi, though. Did they have the damage to actually finish him off? No. Yeah, no, I've played a good bit of Kale in my day. I hate grouping on Kale basically ever. It's just not worth my time. Unless it's like I need to be there in order to like if my team's just gonna fight without me. When they do end up catching the Jace, so but another fantastic Talia ulti. Chaos very good at those Talia WE combos.
Yeah, the flicks from Talia have just been on point since we started watching here. So
yep.
Props to Talia. Those are not easy to land, and she's been making it look very easy.
Yep, and good TP by Talia top lane here to save the tower. You don't want to give it first tower for free.
Really, at the end of the day, it's a Garen.
Yeah,
She's gonna walk away in proxy.
Yeah, really should be Kale doing that, but it's fine as long as somebody grabs it. Well, actually, if they're able to get a kill here, I actually like Talia up here better. Just has to be a little bit careful, but it should happen.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
So to Archangels first. So I preface this by saying that I am not a Talia player. I played her a little bit, but not a lot. So I really don't know what her mana needs are. I know it could be a bit heavy, but yeah, I feel like my intuition is that I'd much rather have a harder spiking item first over Seraphs.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking just Talia. Like, I've seen a lot of mages. Oh, we're gonna get a 1v1 here, and
in the bot lane,
both players gonna flash away here. The Cog passive can't quite catch up and take out the kill, even though I've seen a lot of Cog passive kills recently in Beer League. So yeah, won't quite happen there. Pretty close though, because Kais is definitely a better 1v1 champ than Cog.
Oh, 100%. I will say about the before we get too far away from it, I do see a lot of Roa Seraphs where they'll like get tier and then build Roa and then build Seraphs. I like that build.
Huh. Okay. Okay.
But Seraphs on its own, I'm not a huge fan. But I'm also just kind of biased against Seraphs in general, so. And I don't know, maybe Talia really needs the mana that badly. So I'm not really a Taliyah player. I'm not gonna say he's wrong for building it. I am gonna say it was wrong for Ivor to be that deep by himself, though. And again, the Kale's grouping, but she's actually gonna get something out of it this time. And another fantastic ulti by Taliyah to kind of cut the jungle in half there. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they're ahead at this point in the game with a Kale on their team is a good sign.
Yeah, and LG, the red team is down a game here, right?
Yeah, they are. I'm seeing in chat. I'm seeing in chat. Pro's been going Sarah's first on Taliyah. Oh well, then I definitely know it's garbage. Like,
yeah. Well, that's why I asked. Is like I've seen it. I haven't just seen it like once or twice. Like a lot of mages are going. I'm just like I don't get it. Like theoretically it shouldn't work. So maybe the numbers are off and it does work. But yeah, it's just a little weird.
No, I know a lot of people copy pros, but honestly, if I see pros doing something, I actually trust it less because pros have interesting ideas about builds, and they're all copycats. So they will copy bad builds to the moon and back. So if you feel like you really need the shield or you really need the mana, I could see the Seraphs being okay, but Seraphs on its own as your only mana item just feels weird to me.
Yeah, we've also got Ivern building support, which I don't love. I think maybe it's fine here, but AP Ivern just does so much damage and the shields are still so big. I think it's better to go AP, and I know that like it says Jamaica Banana is like very strictly like AP is just so good you have to go AP. We also get Nefiri going Shojin second. Obviously, great item on Nefiri, but it is not the shield breaking item that she probably wants or needs.
Yeah, hopefully she'll get it third here at least, because you definitely need one at some point. Garen's just gonna lead him on a merry little chase here, as Garens are wont to do.
Yeah,
can he actually get a kill while he's doing this? No.
You can see him looking for that QER angle. He just couldn't quite find it.
I noticed he is still going the old Garen build with the Phantom Dancer second, which is interesting. I don't hate it because he's against a range-heavy team. You kind of need the mobility, but it's definitely not as good as it was in the past. And meanwhile, very nice Dragon Steal by the Ivern, and LG very angry about that, and they're going to go in and get their revenge. Although Luke is actually going to get counter-revenged here if he keeps... bro, stop going forward, please. The team's got to let it... Okay, he survives.
Nefiri's going to do Nefiri things. A lot of shielding coming in from Eclipse, and a lot of healing coming in from Nami. So, Ivern letting LG know that dragon was none of their business. Incredible steal and an instant flash out. So I love the play. They were even able to mostly get away. Sadly, they have a big Shelly here in mid lane to deal with, and I think, so they'll lose that tower, only the tower, luckily, but overall, I think pretty good trade.
Yep, and I do want to comment on this Kayle a little bit, as I played some Flex Q with members of Team LG a day or two ago, and Caress was practicing the Kayle, and he seemed kind of lost on it when we were playing, but so far he's ahead of schedule in both items and levels, so clearly he understands the assignment here in the Beer League game at least. He's got pretty good farm, he's got the the Nashor's Death Cap, he's almost level 14, he should be level 16 within the next 5 or 6 minutes. So he's doing a good job. And I realized I bookended that by flaming him at the beginning, but what he's doing now here is exactly what you're supposed to be doing on Kayle. I don't like how much he's grouped, but the grouping has worked in his defense, so I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Kayle, I don't want to see you ever until you're level 16. Get out of here.
Yeah, but it has worked out well enough, so I will not harp on it. That will be the Atakan over to Las Gatos. Feats of Strength over here. Oh, they did get IQ did get feats of strength there. I guess they got first tower at some point. I guess it was first tower top. I hope they actually build their tier 3 boots. I see they have one already. But you have not seen the other cast yet, but WR got feats of strength both times, and almost none of them built the tier 3 boots, and I was very unhappy about that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it would have made a difference in how the series went, but you know, they're such good value for 500 gold. Just get it. You know, there was even one time where Sion left the base with full build except for the upgraded boots and 800 gold in his pocket, and he still didn't buy the boots. And I'm like, bro, come on, you're killing me, bro.
Yeah, for anyone not in the know, the boots did not used to be fully worth it, but as of this season, they got upgraded. So buying them basically ASAP is very gold efficient. You know, usually like no later than like after your second or third item. So.
Nice little ambush here on Jace, but Jace pretty good in those avoiding those situations, and he's gotten a lot of value out of that phase rush. I questioned it a little bit.
Phase rush. Yeah.
But so far this game, he's gotten out of a lot of sticky situations with it. So I see the vision. I understand.
Do we know what is that Arcane Jace?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is indeed the time-limited legendary skin, because that's how Riot rolls these days. Feels bad. And Kale doing her side lane business, about 20-something% of the way to level 16, so she's on her way.
It looks like she was a little too worried to go into the jungle. If I was Kale, I'd be
go in there and gobble those camps up.
Yeah, especially when you've got vision on it like that. Just, you know, be a little adventurous. But
I think he wanted to. I think he wanted to reset then to make sure he gets to this dragon on time, which is fair. Like I said, I normally don't like the grouping, but he's got multiple fed teammates that he can basically play second support to. So I don't mind the grouping as much because of that.
That's what you got teleport for, though, right?
Sure, but I think there's a big advantage to the team that starts there than the one who TP's in.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, unless you're able to stall it out for 20 or 25 seconds and actually get something from the push. Yeah, I probably agree.
Yeah, and she's already got the tier 2 tower, so like, is she really going to threaten the inhib tower at this point? Probably not.
Yeah.
Ooh, they're actually going to go for the Kale here. Kale has to blow her flash.
And get taken down to half by the Jace, so...
Yeah.
Ricky looking cute and
then
looking dangerous.
Yeah, the Talia catch on the Ivern, able to blast his HP. And I would like to see them force this dragon now. They chunk the Nefarious Heart as they have, or not the Nefarious, the Ivern as hard as they have. Because I don't think he can safely approach now, but
he'll try. They're still looking.
Yeah, LG playing this very cautiously, but I don't think they need to be quite this cautious. They chunked the jungler. I know they got it stolen before. They might feel a little PTSD from that, but no, you can't be afraid to go for objectives when you're supposed to.
And great job, IQ, by realizing that they're never going to be able to contest that. Get up top and get some vision down, and maybe set up an ambush here.
Yep, and notice the Fury did get the anti-shield at him. So good, yeah, recognizing that they needs to get that. And LG says, wow, that dragon was easy, let's try this Baron. And they have no idea that they're doing this Baron. Ivern is just recalling they're in the jungle, and that's a free Baron.
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear what the comms are, because they definitely knew that it was happening. Like, they knew it was coming, and they seemed to be able to get vision down, but...
Yeah, not actually in the pit, though. I think they might have actually, like, come through mid, and then, like, snaked through and avoided all the vision. And by the time they realized that had happened, it was too late. Because, like, they have good vision, but this is, like, deceptively... This is false sense of security vision, right? Because you have
vision if they're coming out of their base, but they weren't coming out of their base.
they went through mid lane and avoided all the wards. And that was just very, very kind of lucky happenstance there. They just happened to avoid all those wards. But yeah, great job just pulling the trigger on it, realizing the situation. You'd be surprised how many barriers you can get by just walking up and hitting it. Yep. And meanwhile, in the bot lane, the Kayle is officially level 16. And that means that she is now the danger. And Rihi needs to be a lot more respectful.
Yeah.
And he's going to go down. That is tough.
I don't think Jace realized she has Death Cap and Riley's, so yeah, if she gets on you, she's gonna stay on you, and yeah. Jace, I think, just learned that the hard way.
Yeah, you definitely give up a lot of damage by going Riley's on Kayle, but once you get that first auto on them at level 16 and you slow them, they're cooked, basically. They can't get away from you, so I think it's good. I'm fine with it. Yeah, I mean...
Will Garen learn the same lesson?
Yeah, right?
Slowly
he's playing a little bit farther back, I'm noticing. So that's good, at least. So Leah's going to go ahead and do kind of an ulti there to kind of push them off the tower, I guess. But they still don't want to actually walk up and hit it. Kayla's going to get the bot tower. She's going to get the inhib as well. And they're trying to force a fight here in the mid lane, but I really don't think they want that. Yeah, very questionable macro here by IQ at the moment. They seem very confused on what they should be trying to do. Definitely not on the same page as the team here. They end up losing the mid tower as well. I would like to see Kayle regroup with her team. Like, why are you still bot? The inhib's already gone, right? Like, you should be over here fighting this, but now they're going for it, and Karen's going to go in, and that's Nami going to go down. And Leof on the side, away from the team. And, yeah, the Kayle recalled for some reason. I don't like that should have been a game-losing engage play if Kayle was like right here when they went forward. She just swoops in behind and gives them the bad touch.
She walked up and started hitting the Nexus towers. Yeah. I mean, pick one. I think recalling is the worst thing you can do there.
Yeah, I don't understand what was happening there, but I mean, I get it. He's got his Shadow Flame, but you know, winning the game's probably a little bit higher priority. Ooh, nice pick on the Lulu.
Another great flick from Talia.
Yeah. And so far, Caress has done a really good, great job on the Kayle. So I'm not trying to dog on him, but that was some very strange macro play right there.
Well, it's interesting too. So I casted IQ's last game, I think, and I think they got 2-1, or it was a 2-1 or 2-0. It might have been against Pyron's team, but they were making great individual plays, but I thought that their biggest shortcoming was macro. So it's interesting to see that, you know, it's still kind of an issue. Like, I think they've got really good individual skill. As you can see, Garen out-skilling Nefiri by pressing ER.
Yeah, hiding in the bush,
Can't quite pull it all together when it comes down to the macro.
And yeah, Kayle just kind of away from her team again. Like, I like, bro, you're level 18, you got 700 AP or whatever. Like, dude, where are you, bro? Like, if you're not pressuring an objective, you need to be helping your team, and now he's going to get collapsed on by 4 people and die. Can he take anyone down with him at least? No.
Not quite. No.
Yeah.
I think it's fine if the team's communicating that, you know, okay, Nefiri died, everyone back off and waste their time while I get a tower. I think that's okay, but it definitely looks weird to us not being in on their communications and hearing, you know, maybe they were just disjointed. Yeah, it definitely looks a little odd.
Yep. I will say that Caress is normally a mid laner, I believe. He is not a top laner by trade, so this is kind of not his typical role, so it's not surprising that there are some strange macro missteps. Top lane's a very weird role, macro-wise, and it's kind of hard to know what to do a lot of the times, so yeah, just giving some context on the plays. Both teams kind of converging on the dragon here, but Garen's going to go ahead and TP in.
Yeah, great TP in, nice and early.
Yeah, and I think you have to try to stall this long enough for the Kayle to TP in as well. Actually doing a great job, and Nefiri going in way too deep too soon. Now Kayle's TPing in, but she's kind of ahead of her team. Her team needs to move up so she doesn't get blasted as soon as she shows up here. She's going to go in. Ooh. Wait, what?
That was a max range smite.
I was gonna say, how did Ivern even get that? Like, that's wild.
I have no clue.
Okay. That is crazy, but all right. And yeah, I think if you're LG here, you just go straight to this Baron. Like I'm fine with pushing these waves in and getting these inhibs, but get the Baron afterwards. Like, yeah, it sucks that you lost the dragon, but they're kind of trapped in their base here, and your Baron clear with Kaisa and Kayle is insanely fast. So just
Well, I'd say the worst thing that can happen is you give up a kill, right? Like if
Yeah.
Ray had been able to TP behind them there, make a 4v3 or 4v4 play or something, then you may not even be able to get Baron. So
like,
I think
why
probably
with the
yeah.
why with the backing? Why? What do you didn't even buy anything? Caress, bro, come on, you're killing me. Oh, you've done so good in so many other things, but this macro is hurting my brain. Whatever, just get the Baron. And we feel better about it. Kale actually able to hit Kale actually able to hit the Baron over the wall from here.
That's interesting. Wild.
Yeah, has just enough range. I think Kale has what, 625? Yeah, so just barely able to get over the wall.
Oh,
and again, another back. Is he gonna buy an item this time? Still not buying an item. Oh.
Yeah, see, but that's kind of again like a showcase. Like IQ made a great play, absolute heist, getting that dragon and putting themselves on soul point. I don't know if it'll matter, but like they can really outperform other teams, like in pretty big ways. But then it comes down to macro, and like you just kind of think like the communication. I mean, obviously, purely communication can only be so good in the first place. But it's like, man, like there's like such a great play here and there, and it's like, okay, well, it fell a little flat afterwards. Luckily, Kog'Maw's got a Runaan's here because there's a lot of wave clear needed.
Here, right? Gotta kill all these minions that are coming into your base.
But I mean, the poke from Jace is not completely able to be ignored here now. I don't think. I mean, you got a big Nami heals, but Javik Truthers in the chat definitely be feeling good. And now we've got the last fight of the game breaking out.
Very early Garen ulti here. Doesn't really do much, and that should be game here, I would think, right? Like they don't really. I don't think they have Kelfra on this Kale now. She's gonna. Ooh, nice flash by Jubilee. Very good. And they actually get in here.
I think Kale might have been able to flash in and finish that kill. If she flashed forward with her R with Death Cap,
yeah.
I think you might be able to flash aggressively in the game. But I think going slow was probably a safe bet too. I mean, they got Baron and minions.
Yeah, you got the numbers advantage already. Nice to Leo to there. Ree able to go in and kill Nefiri, but he's gonna pay with his life. And now the ranged carries are left over, and yeah, I mean the full 6 build Kale, except for this item, but that's gonna be game 2 over to LG, and we're moving on to game 3.
You want me to take over for game 3?
Nah, I'm good. I'll make it through. I'm
Or if you want to leave the stream up, I can just I can do the casting if you want, but
no, I'm good. I'm just definitely gonna go to bed as soon as the series is over because the timing just happened to work out well. So it is all good. Okay. So that, and let's see, and you're gonna need to be able to see my thing, right? So
at some point, yeah. I should probably put the stream back up.
Here, hold on. There we go. And draft for game 3. I really like that you can find all 3 games drafts from there.
Yeah,
it's really nice. I don't have to ask for a new link every time.
Yeah, the whole setup is pretty clean.
I think they've told even the non-fearless teams to do that, where you just create the new game from the first one. Just don't pick fearless draft. So you have game 1, game 2, game 3. You don't have 3 separate links. I think that's a much smarter way to do it.
Yeah.
Tell them that we're ready to go for the draft, and then
I'm gonna take a 45-second break and get some water refill here.
Go for it. going to game 4 for draft because sides were wrong. All right. Oops.
Have to complete draft.
Yeah, so you missed some
drama.
Yeah, so apparently they forgot to hit the switch sides button when making the draft for game 3.
Huh.
And it won't just let them go on to game 4 without drafting anything.
But game 2 and game 3, not game 3 and game 4. I got you.
Yeah, it won't let them go on. Sorry, it won't let them go into game 4 without doing a game 3 draft. But they don't want to pick anything because it'll block those picks out because fearless. And they can't.
Are you saying game 4 on purpose?
Yes. So they created game 3, and they were supposed to switch sides, but they forgot to. But the game 3 draft has already been locked in.
Oh, okay.
So.
So quote unquote game 4, but it's really game 3 of the series.
Yeah. So basically,
okay.
From what I understand, what they're going to do is they're going to run through this draft and let all the picks time out, I guess, which is going to take a while, and then run a game 4. But remember to switch the sides this time. So I guess that is the big downside of this system, is that if you accidentally lock in and start in the next game without switching sides, you can't just go back and redo it, I guess. I mean, maybe there is a way, but I don't know it. There seems to be some confusion about it in the chat here. So as far as I understand it, they're just going to ban whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Because the bans won't matter. Okay.
You know, the bans don't matter, but the picks, they'll just let them go empty, I guess, because it won't let you start a game 4 draft without completing a game 3 draft, which I guess I understand, but it's kind of annoying in this case because it just means it kind of wastes time.
Well, it's also weird because this is game 3 of 3, so you would think that you can't even make a game 4.
Well, this is game 3 of 3 because we've only played 3 games. So
okay.
Yeah, so once we get to the next one, it'll say game 3 of 4. So, okay. And you can play as many games as you want theoretically. It's just that we're not going to have any best of 5s until the finals. So.
Okay. I also forgot my water in the kitchen. Give me 20 seconds.
It's all good. We got time. Wait, they locked in something. Okay. So.
Okie dokie. Wow. A lot of very opinionated people in Twitch chat. We've got Eric congratulating Caress on the solo and then also blaming them for the mess up here.
I mean,
and then we've got Mr. Cookie, who I think I need to idolize a little more, because not only is Benson his hero, but he also said Muffin Man was his hero, or someone. I don't. Maybe it was Muffin Man. Someone was Muffin Man from his hero from last game. So a lot of heroes in Mr. Cookie's life, and I think that's admirable.
Let's see. So what the captains decided to do, which is really smart, is instead of wait it out, they just decided to switch draft links and do opposite drafts, I guess. I don't know. I don't fully understand exactly how this is going, but it's LG on the left and IQ on the right, apparently. Even though that's not what it says in the actual draft lol. So, there you go. Because, yeah, it's supposed to be... I guess that does work, right? You just draft like you're the other team. And then remember... remember which side you're actually on when the game starts. I mean, fair enough. That's the smartest way to handle that, I think. But we are indeed getting a real draft.
Okay, so this is live. This is
yeah,
real.
these are real drafts.
Okay.
These are not paid actors.
Well, I don't really know a whole lot about either of these two teams. I will say that Nocturne Oriana is a very scary combo if you do it right, because you can time it such that the Ori R goes off when Nocturne lands and does a lot of damage. On the other hand, you've got Ashe that can just absolutely run down pretty much anyone in the game, and a Shen shield to keep her safe. So I think Lucian's a very strong pick just in general. I don't love the Zoe pick. It could be Zoe support. I think that's honestly probably just as common as Zoe mid, from what I've seen. So I don't know anything about any of the players, but
yeah, let me actually give you just a little short rundown on the teams, because I actually do know that. So Team IQ, which is the one on the right, even though it says LG. Team IQ is made up of a lot of longtime beer league veterans. So Rihi, Benson, and None Ya Business are all longtime higher level players. Plus Jubilee and Super Noob as well. So those are all very long time league players that have played together a long time. They are very much a legacy team. As for IQ, or as for LG, who is on the left, even though it shows them on the right, they are partially the remnants of Team CR, who just won the finals last season. But then I stole their two best players from my team for this season. So it's the remnants of CR plus the players they recruited to fill the gaps. I believe it's 2 CR players and then 3 new ones.
Okay.
So they're kind of a legacy team, kind of not. Yeah, the splitting of the league into Fearless and Regular has caused some strange team fractures.
Okay.
So, because, a lot of the times the lower cost players were kind of there to kind of make the budget work back then. Mm-hmm. But now that we have the Fearless League, the teams don't necessarily want to team together anymore exactly as they did last season, even though they just won the championship. So,
like, the grass must be greener on the other side.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Speaking of grass being greener elsewhere, we've got some more bands coming in. Real bands also.
Yeah,
right?
4 support bands. That's wild.
Afraid of the supports. Yeah. So we will get Rakan, who does not have much. What's the synergy with Ashe? But I like Rakan just overall. Has a massive engage range if you REW all over the place. Renata, really good peel.
Sorry, I'm going to interject here. I actually don't agree that they don't have good synergy with Ashe. I think that Rakan can set up the Ashe arrow really well. And I think that Ashe all in is threatening enough that Rakan can kind of lead the way on that. I don't think it's an amazing lane combo, but the hardest part of landing Ash Arrow is that people just dodge it, right? So if you land like the knockup with Rakan first and then Ash Arrow them before the knockup expires, you've got a great all-in right there.
Yeah, it's definitely not the Braum Ziggs that we saw the other week. So
yeah, that one was interesting.
But yeah, I mean, we can hit Ash W into Rakan W into R into R. So yeah, I get it. It's I just saw Mbessa pop off on the other series, so that champ is still very scary. It was also in Mbessa mid. I'm sure this one's going top.
Yes.
But and then we've got Warwick jungle. I hate Warwick just in general. Moves
same.
too fast all the time.
Same.
And heals too much all the time. But interesting. I mean, he's like kind of like a tanky bruiser, so I guess he's not terrible here. But honestly, the weirdest pick here, besides the Zoe, is probably the Renata to me, because you've got the Nocturne Ori, so it doesn't feel like you need disengage, which I think is really the only thing Renata's good for, because like her R does not move as fast as Maokai's, so it's just not great for engaging. So it's kind of interesting that, like, I guess someone gets Ash R'd or Zoe bubbled and you can pop it, but it doesn't seem like that has very good synergy here.
Renata's kit in general does a lot of things though. So
yeah, true.
I think maybe it's more just bailout for either Nocturne or Mbessa diving or for the Lucian, so he can play more aggressively in team fights. Oh shit! I got a bot. Hold on, I got him. Hold on, let me ban him.
I had one in my chat earlier because I had the actual Twitch login. I was able to ban it.
Nice. And
let's go.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and I'll report it too.
Got him.
Reporting accounts. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what other, like, even a Maokai support or something here, like something to kind of follow up and get in there along with the Nocturne, like, and Mbessa. I feel like would have been better here.
Yep. I will say, I actually think that IQ might be role swapping here, because this is player specific knowledge, but the IQ's top laner is normally a mid laner, and he is a Zoe one trick.
Oh.
So I would not be surprised to see them hand off mid to him for the Zoe, and then their normal mid laner go top with the Shen.
Okay. I mean, Shen's very strong right now, not only in meta, like not only in solo ranked meta, but also, I mean, for sure in competitive, like, cooperative play. So I think Shen should be picked or banned every game. Personally, I think the champ is great.
I was surprised they let it through, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
especially it lasted until game 3.
Yeah, and I could be totally wrong on that guess with the role swap. By the way, that's just me kind of knowing that they have a Zoe like main on their team who isn't normally their mid laner. It's actually funny because the top jungle and mid for team IQ are all mid lane mains, but they had to put them somewhere, so they kind of I actually find it interesting they gave Rihi mid, because he's normally the most flexible one, but they decided to have him be the mid laner, which is
well, Eric is saying that Rihi played Zoe the other day.
That's true. I mean, it could just be played straight. That is totally possible. It is possible and fair and balanced.
Chaos is a 7 rating or cost, and Luca's a 6. And then it looks like IQ's got all of their cost, 12 of the 25.5 points in the top lane of Benson and Nunya business.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, I just watched the game. I just got done casting with the series. Rather, was one of the teams had, I think, like 13 or 14 points invested in their bot lane, and they did go 0-2. So it's looking like the more expensive junglers is maybe the way to go.
So there has been. Hold on, let me switch here. Get all my switchies ready to go. So because of the tight budgets. Hold on. Forgot to change this.
Great timing.
Because of the tight budgets, historically in Beer League, there has been very much a meta of which roles to kind of spend your points on.
Sure.
And it's been nice to see because the budget's been so much higher in Fearless is that teams have had a lot more flexibility for where they actually want to put people. So we've seen a lot more points in top lane this season than we've ever seen, because before it was just not worth it to put your points in top lane when they were so limited, because you could just put your 1-pointer on Ornn. Well, hold on. There's nonsense breaking out here, and we're caught with the 4-man Naka followed into the 5-man Shenton. Oh my god.
Biggest Shenton I've ever seen, and it ends up getting him killed.
Yeah, the crazy part is that they're still not even winning this fight after that. That is wild. I mean, it's...
Oh, it's a Shen jungle! The jungle!
The Shen jungle, yep. That's gonna be feats of warfare over for team.
Oh,
no! 8 kills already
Ash,
at level 1.
Tempo. Go, Ash, go! You have lethal tempo!
Oh, he's got Q. I think he wins. Oh, no, he doesn't have barrier! That's what you get for not having barrier!
Let's go! Getting the pings from his team also, and flashing the mastery.
Oh,
alright, so we've got Jungle here, starting E, which is not great for the jungle. Honestly, if you know you're starting E on Shen, I would just go to Raptors. But he is going to get a leash from his Rakan here.
Yeah. And they did not roll swap, so they kept the roll straight.
Got it, okay. Ugh, and it's Warwick top. Yuck.
Yeah.
Actually, Warwick got a kill and then did not buy anything. So I guess Warwick got a kill, just walked top? Or tried to buy something out of base?
Well, he doesn't have TP, so he just had to walk straight to lane. He didn't have time to reset, I guess. So
I don't agree with that. But anyways, he's against an Mbessa who's got a longsword. The Shungle did not get enough gold to buy anything, so he'll be clearing slowly. They are clearing to opposite sides of the map, so I think Shen probably does not beat Conqueror and Nocturne, but they are pathing away from each other regardless.
Yep.
And this Ashe went and bought a BF sword and is now laning with a BF sword.
Yeah, comebacks to lane with a BF sword level 1. That's usually a pretty good start. When you have 40 more AD than the opposing AD carry, and yeah, that's him flexing his really good start all over their faces.
Yeah.
Wow, took a lot of damage to those tower shots, but in the end, they do live. Up to a 400 gold bounty already before the 3-minute mark. He's already up 1,000 gold. That is wild.
Yeah, that is not what you want to see when your pathing bot is Nocturne. You're like, okay, guys, don't worry, I'll be right down there. I'll help get the shutdown. And they die again before you can even get there. So, understandable though. BF Sword is a crazy level 1 buy.
Yep. He's actually really lucky too that he got the first blood, or he wouldn't have had enough gold.
Did Ricky get?
Well, actually, no. Hold on.
From the wave.
Hold on.
Oh.
How does he have enough gold, 1,300 gold with 4 kills? That's only 1,200. I'm not sure how he had enough for BF sword. TBH, unless because first blood doesn't get more gold anymore. Triumph? Ah, yep. There you go. An additional 20 gold, but that's still 20 gold short. Oh, because he sold his potion. He got the 80 extra gold from the 4 takedowns. Or the 5. Oh no, he got enough gold from the 5 takedowns because he got all 5.
Yeah, buddy.
Thanks to the barriers, he was able to get BF sword exactly. That's wild. The math worked out perfectly.
And some really good fist bumps coming in here from IQ is on the right?
Yes, they are. So yes, very, very good fist bump coordination by them so far.
And Rihi putting in some work here. 5 assists already. And yeah, crazy champs top lane. I was going to say Warwick's about to find out just how broken Mbessa is. But you know what? The second she goes to kill him, he's just going to pop barrier and kill her back. So I'll hold my words here.
Yep. Sup, Lightning? Welcome back. And yeah, laning top against Warwick is so annoying. Because he's just constantly trying to bait you, you know? And it's like, how well do you know your champion to know if you have enough damage to actually finish him off? And it's difficult because you can just eat all of your poke and not care at all.
Yeah. The rule is never try to kill him ever. If you think he's in kill range, he is not.
Yeah, pretty much. If you can get out his barrier without getting all in, it's usually worth it. But that is tough.
So, Shen doing the smart thing, playing around his BF sword Ashe. They're gonna take an early drag here. Shen's got his bombies. I guess he knows that they've got enough damage where he just kind of needs to stand in front of his team and try and soak it up. So he's gonna go for a bombies item instead of Titanic here.
Yep. Probably couldn't afford the Tiamat either, so
yeah.
Want to get your level 6 as quick as possible so you can press R on Ashe whenever they try to play the game.
Yep. He is countered, though, with the Nocturne R. Anytime that I pick Shen, I always want to see a Nocturne ban, and they did not pull it out here. Unfortunately, we've got Ori walking up a lot, so we've got Shen holding the taunt to make sure it lands, get the Q drag through. Yeah, but that's what happens when you taunt point blank like that, is you don't have a gap closer.
Doesn't quite have the damage.
Almost finishing off that kill. Very nice, though, because that was not Zoe's flash. He was using Ori's flash.
Ooh.
And there's his flash. That was gorgeous by Reiki.
There you go. Ooh, 1 win each. This is definitely a fight. Yeah, it's been a good series so far. For sure.
Honestly, I just got done casting a 2-0 series, and that series was fantastic, too. So it does not have to be a 3-game series to be an absolute banger.
Oh yeah, I mean honestly,
this one appears to be.
Yeah, like even a lot of the 2-0 series are not necessarily bad series. It's just, you know, the games are close and then the better team pulls away twice in a row. You know, so I think you'll actually probably see more 2-0s in Fearless just because teams don't throw their leads nearly as often. So.
Huh. Well, I won 2-0 last week, and it was it did not look like it was a 1-0 either game. So I know how it feels to be on that end. Warwick taking the full Q there, trying to get this wave shoved, but there is a Nocturne and an Ori up here. Yep. And he just couldn't quite crash that. I think his big Q right there kind of messed up his good crash. He's gonna get caught a little bit out here, but luckily Nocturne's pathing bot. They really want that Ashe shut down, I think.
Yep. I mean, yeah, I think Crest is trying really hard to kind of bait out this this Warwick ulti into tower and flash it. I'm assuming that's what his game plan is here. And IQ actually not as far ahead in gold as you would expect given how the game started. I mean, 1.5k gold's not nothing, but you know, the majority of that is on your 80 carry. So across the rest of the game, it's actually pretty even.
So Shen is hanging out down here, hoping that he can get in the action before popping R. Ready with another almost solo bolo. But he is going to draw the ire of the Nocturne, and the Nocturne is going to get an easy cleanup kill. So it was looking bot, popped the Renata R, couldn't quite get it to catch up, and he's just going to walk mid.
Yep. You know what we need, though? To counter that Nocturne R, you just need to get Edge of Night Shen. There you go. So the darkness doesn't keep you from ulting your team.
Well, I think QSS is probably a little more reasonable of a buy than Edge of Night.
No. Because Edge of Night spell shield, when Nocturne ultis, the darkness won't affect you.
Yeah, but you can also just QSS the darkness.
Can you really?
Yeah.
Are you sure? You can QSS dark.
I'm 94% sure. I'm only 6% less sure because you're asking me now.
Like it's not CC. So can you QSS Twisted Fate Vision?
No, because I think that the Nocturne R is like technically like counted as a suppression or something. Don't quote me on that.
I actually think you're.
Sure.
I actually hold on. We'll talk about that in a second. But
yeah. Not the double flash after.
Yeah. So what happened here in top lane? We'll flame you about the Nocturne in a second. But
I promise it's real.
No, I actually think you're right. Because I will give you a credit after this fight here. So
okay.
They are gonna go ahead and get the ulti on Warwick. He's gonna look at that shield though. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, under 40% health for that Shen, and then great W by Shen, but Warwick just does not have the gas, and they certainly do.
Yep. And now, the Zoe's here as well, but she's gonna have to just bail.
Don't do it. Okay. She wanted to R back in, but
So
it was better not to.
So what I was gonna say is, I know that it was this way in the past. I'm not sure if it still is, but Nocturne ult does count as CC of some sort, and that's why his CC score at the end of the game is always so high. Just because every time he's ulting, he's hitting 5 people with CC, right?
Yeah.
Air quotes CC.
Yeah.
And if it is indeed counted as CC, then it would make sense that you can QSS it. So you may be right. You may very well be right that you can QSS it. I've just never even thought to try that. I still think Edge of Night would be funnier though.
Yeah. And I mean, there was one of the latest clickbait Shen videos was like going Ghostblade third, so that you can speed up and get into and out of bad fights. Like, oh, it's just like a second, like, you know, basically a ghost summoner spell. Like, all right, pump the brakes a little bit on that one, but you technically can build AD and lethality on Shen. It's
actually, no, it's interesting. It looks like he's building a redemption first item.
Yeah, I love. So we call this Redemption.
Oh god. Okay. No, fair enough.
He's gonna be a bit of a Shen chanter, if you will. No,
I got any more? Come on, keep coming.
I'll spare everyone. So I actually like Redemption Shen support. Obviously you don't get bombies, but you can go Guardian. You can get Moonstone. You can legit do bombies, Redemption, Moonstone here. You can also throw in like a locket, and it's real good. I don't like Halo Blade's Shen. I think if you're gonna go for an aggressive option, you go for PTA. So, you know, like you ult someone, you E in, get your 3 Qs, big pop, and then you've got like the PTA target for Ashe. So I don't like Halo Blades here. I would have gone either Guardian, which completely destroys any chance of you like having any kill pressure, Aftershock, or PTA. But we're going to see another solo Bolo. Unfortunately, that Warwick does not have their item complete and cannot quite do Warwick things, especially without barrier. So Warwick did pop his R, but it's still going to go down. Ricky realizes he has to flash out of this Stridebreaker completed Nocturne.
I will say regarding your
Shen is a real thing. Yeah.
I will say regarding your thoughts for the Shen with Hail Blades. One, I find it very interesting. He doesn't have Ultimate Hunter. Considering he bothered to go Red Tree, that seems like the obvious choice to me. But regarding Halo Blades, I have a feeling that maybe he wasn't planning to go supportive Shen, but then the Ashe got 1 billion kills and he called an audible. You know, like I could totally see that. Maybe that's what happened. You know.
Yeah.
So maybe it was. Yeah. Oh, nice ulti.
And there's the Nocturne RER combo. Yep. And that is about as quick as those fights are gonna last when they find a pick.
We do have Butt Rito here in the chat saying QSS does work on Graves and Nocturne near site unless they change something, but I don't know about Quinn.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, we would think it would work on Quinn too, but who knows? League has so many like weird like one-off things in the game, and the only way to know exactly how they work is to like just test it.
Well, so we do have Redemption here for the Shen. So, we're gonna get the Flash R in for Rakan plus the Shen ult. That was an incredible timing on Renata's abilities and R to push the Shen away and out of danger for them. So we did have to pop both summoners from Lucian, but Mr. H teaches with the great combo there to get completely out of trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shen can legit go like Locket Moonstone here, and it will be disgusting shields for the Ashe. Again, we probably want to see shield breaker items for probably Nocturne, if not Nocturne and Mbessa here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like Shen supportive build. I mean the meta build for a while, like a season or two ago, was you just do bombies into Redemption top. So it's definitely was the thing. It's not as good now with Titanic, the Titanic buff for Shen, but still strong.
I'm actually surprised how high his CS is, considering he's going like a supportive Shen jungle build and he's keeping up on a Nocturne with Stridebreaker. Like that's genuinely wild to me. I don't know how he's keeping up mid farm like that.
Shen Flash?
Ooh, very nice Orianna Shockwave to catch out the Zoe under the tower. So he got a little too aggressive trying to go for that kill there, and ends up paying the price.
Yeah, I was expecting Shen to flash taunt there, or taunt flash.
Yeah, now
but...
the gold lead is actually switched. It's now a 2K gold lead for Los Gatos.
Yeah, but we see Warwick has his Blade of the Ruin King, and yeah, he's about to start hurting a lot. And Bess, if he lives through Bess's combos, yeah, this is gonna happen. Unfortunately,
Nocturne outplay button.
Fantastic timing by Nocturne. Nocturne really has been completely dominating the map with his R.
Now, I do say one thing that Mbessa really has going for her here is that if she times her ult correctly, she should not only she should just negate the Warwick ulti, I think. Like if he ults first, because she becomes unstoppable and suppresses them. So if they collide when they're both ulting, the Mbessa should come out ahead on that.
Yeah, what wins, the immovable object or the unstoppable force?
Well, it as far
technically
as
should be her.
League Unstoppable means that Warwick ult won't do anything. Because like, if you try to Warwick ult on ulting Olaf, it does nothing. So Unstoppable beats other
suppress.
Yeah. Unstoppable beats suppression, yeah. Plus it suppresses him as well, so even if the ulti like were to latch on and do damage, it would immediately be interrupted as well. So
man, it is wild that we have IQ up 3 dragons to nothing with how dominant this Nocturne has been.
Yeah.
They were really, I don't know if they're just not playing the map as well, or if they're just this afraid of the Ashe, but the Ashe, the Ashe is going to go for the Renata. Renata's going to flash out of the way just for it to hit Luke. Luckily, it is going to be okay.
Yeah.
I think Shen, Shen even stole the camp there with his smite, so a cheeky little smite at the cost of an Ashe arrow. But good luck and great reaction by Renata there.
Now, while I am surprised that Shen's farm is as good as it is, I'm not surprised that Nunya Business has really good farm. Because I know from a fact that his main jungler is Karthus.
Nice.
And when you play Karthus jungle, you learn to farm. And then there's the combo again. Does it really reach that far? That is wild to me.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how it works. I just know that it works.
So let's go ahead and watch this again, because like is it just maybe it doesn't last long enough? Like she's on it, like that's well out of the range that it should snap back to Orianna. So I don't understand why it works like that.
Yeah, you can do the same thing on Rakan. If you put the ball on Rakan and he like EWs forward, I think it's like if you do it in the middle of like a dash-ish thing, it just works.
It just works.
It just works.
That's wild. Well, that makes the combo really good then, if it actually works like that. It's very weird that it does, but Warwick's going to go in, and he's going to have help as well.
Oh, I don't think that's who Mbessa was aiming for, and I don't think that's where. I don't think she thought Ashe was in the jungle either. So a little weird macro here from IQ with their Ashe being in top jungle, but it will work out, and I think will be back mid to collect this wave in time.
And it will be the feats of strength over for Los Gatos. Hopefully we'll see some tier 3 boots being purchased. Please. Like, please get the boots, I beg of thee.
Yeah, so wild game here. Ashe definitely doing her job. She's got a Rune-Ins now, which is great against this. It's good against the double melee comp. I wouldn't say great.
You know, honestly, with how fed she is, I actually hate the Rune on second.
Yeah, do you think IE here?
Yeah, I think if you're really fed, I'd much rather you just pump up the damage numbers as high as possible.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, multi-target with Runons is nice, but just DPSing the shit out of anyone you auto-attack is just better, you know?
Yeah.
So I would have preferred that. I think Zeal items in general, Zeal items second on ADCs is troll, like in general. Unless you're like one of those champs that builds Navori quick blades. I really don't like Zeal items second. You just give up so much damage by doing them, even though they're cheaper. So, but that's just my opinion. I had some choice words about a rapid fire cannon second gen in the first series.
Okay.
I believe I described it as poopy. I'm not a fan. But yeah, I just don't like Zeal out of second. In my opinion.
Alright, so...
And the Ash Arrow comes in, fortunately splits the difference, which is not what you want when you're Ash Arrowing.
A lot of missed arcs
and
here.
a massive Orianna Shockwave,
and
do they have the damage to finish off the Ash? Yes, they do. And now Nocturne on the backline doing crazy damage. He's going to be able to take down the Zoe, and he's going to keep going along with the Ambessa. And Warwick is here trying to do something, but he doesn't have ulti, so he's just going to get run down by these ranged champions while Ambessa in the back.
Rakan just gives up on the Shen, but the Shen's able to taunt out to safety. Oh, and some crazy survivals here. But it is going to go the way of LG. So, again, the Nocturne engage actually doesn't come through, but Nocturne's able to do a lot of work regardless. And
honestly,
the IQ top and mid here just having a tough time.
Yeah, and honestly, massive props to I'm blanking right now. Massive props to Team LG for not panicking after what happened level 1. Because I think, like, you know, you all die and Ash comes back to lane with a BF sword. I think it's really easy to just get discouraged at that point and feel like you're kind of screwed. But the bot lane for LG held on just fine. Like, yeah, he's still down 1,300 gold, but the lead hasn't grown, really.
Yeah.
So,
considering he started down 1,300 gold, but it's about to get a little worse as they get engaged.
Unfortunately, the Shen taunt misses. Now they're going in, but massive shockwave one-shots the Ash, and that is the downside of a Fed ADC, is they're still squishy as fuck. And if you get hit by the Fed Orianna shockwave, you're still gonna die.
Man, great job by LG there to take the Otacon. They even used they wasted technically the Nocturne R just to turn the lights out and keep IQ from getting into the pit. And then IQ thinks they've got a good fight here with Nocturne R down, but it just does not go their way. Like you said, at the end of the day, ADCs are ADCs, and that is a very fed Orianna with the ball right in her face.
Yep. Doesn't matter if you got huge gold lead on Ash. If you get hit by that full Ori combo, you're probably gonna die. You're gonna be forced out of the fight at the minimum. So,
do you think it's a shield bow angle here for Ash?
No, you've already sacrificed enough damage. I think, like, if you're getting, I mean, they're in a really rough spot now, right? They're down 9K. The Ash is probably the only one on your team with a lead at this point. They have a lot of ways to kill her, even though she has the lead. I think the only way IQ realistically wins this game at this point is A, they somehow get Dragon Soul, which is a tall task.
Yeah.
And B, they can somehow keep the Ash alive and she can pop off with the DPS items. But it does look like she's going for Infinity Edge. That is the right call.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of need her to step up, but Ash is not particularly good at doing that in terms of raw damage. So I think IQ might be cooked, but we shall see.
Oh no, Ash R goes wide into the Renata R, into the Nocturne R, and that Shen W is not going to be enough, especially with the Orianna ball coming in on top.
Yep.
We did get Moonstone Shen, by the way. Called it. Love to see it.
We did indeed.
It's just, I think the rest of the team might be a little far behind. It's tough to play around Ash when IQ or when LG has the tools that they do. And this Warwick looks a little lost in the woods right now on how to defend.
Yeah. And honestly, major props to LG. They lost game 1 pretty convincingly from what I understand. But they didn't blink. They came back, they won game 2, and then even going down big in game 3, they held on and managed to, get a very convincing win here. Like, this was only a 24-minute game, which is not...
winning in 24 minutes when you give Ash a 4-0 lead is absolutely wild.
Yeah, so, very well done by Team LG. Very impressive.
Yeah.
So, well played to them. I believe that should be the last game of the week. Let me see. Do we have any games scheduled for next week? We have a couple. We have one on Wednesday with no date. I have to yell someone for that. And I assume they mean next Wednesday, and then Thursday the 26th. And those are the only ones that have been scheduled for now. Hopefully the other teams will start scheduling them soon because they're supposed to be scheduled by now. But I digress. And yeah, it was a fun series to cast. I don't mind having stayed up for that. And yeah, that'll be it. Thanks for watching, everybody. And have a good night. Bye.
Yeah, have a good one, everyone.